Hey, I'm Nick Hawks with 𝗚𝗏𝗀𝐁𝐭. You may have seen recently on the Helium Discord, they made an announcement about the challenge, the PoC challenge interval, and it went from 475 up to 950. Now, what does that mean? Basically means that your hotspot is going to challenge less often, but you're going to earn more per challenge. So overall kind of earnings impact to you, 0. But if you're a curious type, you might want to know what they changed and where they changed. They talk about changing this PoC interval piece. And so here's how to do that. Is normal folks usually kind of stick around on Helium Explorer. So they're looking at this kind of stuff. Maybe they're going back to explorer.com and they go to the block height and they look at the block time, all that stuff. But if you want to go a little bit deeper, cruise on over to and look, cruise it over to helium.plus and check out the chain variables. So you can see that they changed the recent PoC, or sorry, you can't see they recently did it, but you can see what the chain var is right now for the PoC interval time. And so I've got a little kind of cheat sheet where I just have my chain vars that I like to double check and check out. And we'll look at that. So here is the PoC challenge interval. You can see that it's up at 950. If you'd looked at this a couple hours ago, you would have seen that it was 475. So this says at every 950, what is that? I think it's blocks. Your hotspot will issue a challenge, a block. If you want to check the block time, how long is a block, then you just type in block time. There's my 4 o'clock alarm going off in the background. Block time is 60,000. This is in milliseconds, so that's 60 seconds. And so you know that if we're looking at a challenge interval of 975, that's 975 blocks, 975 minutes. You want to divide that by 60, you're going to come up with whatever. I try not to do public math, and I'm not going to do it here. But this is one of the things where you can just check and see what the current chain interval is. Now, you might wonder about other resvars or other chain variables, chain vars. And if you've taken any of my courses, you've seen that we talk about the different HIP17 chain vars. And you can see what those are right here. In fact, we've spent most of the time in the courses talking about the Res8 chain vars, which are 2, 1, and 4. And you can see those right here. So Res8 HIP17, which is the chain vars, are 2, 1, and 4. So 2 siblings, density target of 1, density max of 4. I've talked about what that is in the Helium Basic course and a bunch of other videos, so we don't need to cover it now. But here it is. If you want to see what the chain var is at any given time on the blockchain, this is pulling from that. Another kind of cool one to look at, and that I get asked about a ton, going back over to my little cheat sheet here, is we've got this HIP17 interactivity blocks. What does that mean? That is the number of blocks, and remember, a block is right about a minute right now, before a hotspot that is inactive will no longer be counted as part of the HIP17 reward scaling. So when you see an inactive hotspot and you wonder, is it affecting my reward? If it's off inactive for more than 3,600 blocks, then it will drop off. Now, if you want to know what the block time is, I think we might have done this, but just type in block time, and there it is, 60,000. So it's kind of take your time, cruise around this thing, look at all the chain vars. Most of them can be found with a Google search. A lot of them are over in Helium's doc, so you go through and kind of see what it is. So if you're looking for, whatever, challenges or witnesses or all that stuff, like just go there and just start typing stuff in and see what you find. This is just kind of a neat way to pull the curtain back a little bit, see what's going on the blockchain in real time, and not have to really listen to other folks when they're telling you that something is up or down or whatever. You can just go see for yourself. So helium.plus, and if you don't want to do any of that stuff, you can go over to Helium Analytics. They do a great job of displaying all this stuff in kind of language the rest of us can understand. So green means go, red means stop, or green means good, red means bad. And this is helpful to see what's going on. In fact, in this particular thing, one of the most useful pieces is the average global rewards for all hotspot earnings is 0.112 HNT per day. So if your hotspot is making more than 0.112 HNT per day, you are above average, and I hope that is where you are. If you like this kind of stuff, if you like diving in a little bit deep and then backing out and making it easy, consider joining the 𝗚𝗏𝗀𝐁𝐭 crew, which is my community that meets once a week on, I think, Tuesdays at 10 a.m. And we just do a Zoom and we talk about the latest in Helium. We'll talk about this PoC challenge interval and how it changes our understanding of rewards and how we kind of don't freak out about news because I make sure that you understand it. We'll have guests on that are expert guests. We've had 5G guests. We're going to be talking to a DY Grant, or the head of DY Grants, in the next 𝗚𝗏𝗀𝐁𝐭 crew call. And it's a great way to stay in touch with a really enthusiastic and competent Helium community. So hopefully this video is helpful to you, and I will see you on the Discord or on the crew call. Rock on.